KTN News.
Right, I want us to get into what's trending and see what's happening on social media. And in studio, I'm joined by Raymond Muthe from the digital desk. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you. First things first, one of the stories that was trending yesterday, very interesting. Former Meru Governor Kiraitu Murungi graduated.
Yes.
Degree, happiness certificate. Tell us about that.
He graduated with a degree in happiness. Can you believe it? Is this even a thing? He graduated in a degree in happiness from the Happiness Studies Academy in New York. Of course, sharing a photo of this certificate. This got Kenyans so surprised. Not many people expected that this kind of education would exist. But Kiraitu Murungi is known. He's known for his pronouncements on money being the root of all evil. At one point, he actually talked about how politicians go into depression after losing elections. So I am not surprised. And actually, through his social media handle, he emphasized that he's trying to carve happiness, create a happiness revolution back home. I mean,
what's your understanding of a happiness degree? Like, what would that be? Is what to do to be happy, or what define happiness?
I mean, I also don't understand what this. Maybe we need to go back to this curriculum and try and see what they are taught. But it's probably something more mental than physical. So it's interesting because I didn't even think people would go to school to learn how to be happy. Because it is very, very personal.
But you see, there's always also a report, I think, annually on like happiness, the countries that are happy. And there's a time I think Kenya was also on that report, one of the happiest countries. I also don't know how they really measure that.
It's interesting because at this time of with the cost of living, I think we will score very poorly.
Probably.
From what I've been reading online, there's a lot of upset about the cost of living. So probably our happiness index has gone down kidogo, but
pretty much, of course, with the situation in the country.
So Kiraitu Murungi did himself good.
I guess he'll be happy forever. Like that.
At least for as long as he has his certificate.
Yes, for sure. Moving on now, of course, KCP Results were released yesterday, and there's that conversation on this guy. Nuru, I think it's called Nuru Okanga.
Nuru Okanga, yes.
He's the former Prime Minister's die-hard fan. And there was there's a picture of him in front of a school. Tell us about that situation. Did he do the exam?
Actually, the photo you're talking about, yes, he actually did the exams, but the photo you're talking about has been doing rounds, you know, being collaged with another photo of a purported index of him having scored 401 marks, which he has since disowned. Nuru Okanga is a huge supporter of Azimio and a diehard of Raila Odinga, the former Prime Minister. He came out and on a live TV interview actually last evening and said, those are not my marks. He remained tight-lipped actually about how many marks he scored. Kenyans were really waiting for that because people all through the campaign trail in 2022, yes. There was a lot of uproar about him, you know, campaigning, and people, you see, there's a lot of banter around the election. So people are telling him, you're a school dropout. I mean, what is all this grandiose about? So, but he has come out. He has actually done the exam. We wait and see. Kenyans will unearth his marks.
But if he's done the exams, we need to know the results. That's the whole point sometimes, right?
Because he's also very popular. I mean, this now becomes an issue of public interest by default.
For sure.
But also, Babo, you know, the MP for Embakasi East had come out and said he's going to sponsor the education moving forward for Nuru Okanga. So we also wait for that pledge to come true. And we'll be tracking it and see. But Kenyans online have congratulated him, even without knowing his marks. But for him to go back to school and study, that was a big feat.
All right, finally, the last thing, of course, Eric Omondi, we saw he released a picture of his daughter together with, is she called Lean? I think.
Lean Jege.
Tell us about that, the picture that was on.
In fact, the biggest deal about this whole story was the 50 million. You remember when he made the pronouncement that to be able to see the daughter's face, you need to have paid 50 million shillings for the reveal. So it was really around that whole issue. And then people were terming it, I mean, crazy. 50 million shillings is a lot of money for someone to be charging for a face reveal.
Of course.
But the photos have been doing rounds, and we congratulated them as well because it's been since August 9th. That's when the bundle of joy arrived.
A very beautiful baby. I've also seen the picture. Very beautiful daughter. All right, thank you for that. We appreciate Raymond for, of course, telling us what's happening on social media and what's trending. So for now, though, I want us to take a short commercial break here on News Diary, but when we return, we'll be having a discussion on the 16 days of activism. This, of course, entails gender equity or gender-based violence that is happening around the world. So we'll be having that conversation after this break.